Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Editing Basics. Today we're going to be going over creating basic objectives. I'm going to be showing you where the intel is located, about creating an objective and syncing it to a trigger, and then setting it as completed. And then I'm also going to go over assigning a new objective when an old one has been completed or failed, and then how to end your missions with either a success or a failure based on a certain thing happening. So first we're going to look at our Assets tab. We know we've already been through Objects, Compositions, Triggers and Waypoints. We are now going to have a look at the Systems tab. So there's quite a lot here and there's a lot to take in, but what we're going to be looking at the moment is the tab that says Intel. This Intel is all of the sort of in-game objectives that you would normally have, where you do a certain thing and then it ticks it off as completed and then it sends you off on a new one. So the first thing we want to do is we want to put down a module called create task. We're going to put that here. We need to look in the create task attributes, and the first thing you want to do is set the owner to whoever you want the objective to go to. So for now we're going to do all playable units. This means that anybody that comes into the game that is a player is going to receive this objective. So here we can put a title, so we can say move, and the destination here, you can put in a description if you like, move to marker, and you can put the destination as module position. That means that in the game the player is going to see the objective at this location where this module is. So we're going to leave that as module position, and what we're going to do, as it's the first objective, we're going to automatically put it to assigned. That means that anybody that has this objective, it's already going to be assigned and it's going to be their current objective. Here you can edit the task type. We are going to find one that is something along the lines of move. There is one there called move, so we're going to put to that. That basically just tells you what kind of objective it's going to be when it shows up. So it might come up with a symbol for a gun for destroy, or an explosion for blow up, or whatever. Now that we've got that down, we are going to put a player down, and we're going to just put an ammo bearer down, and we're going to jump into the game as him. So we see now we have this objective here, and if you double tap J to see your journal, you see that we have our objective, move, and our description, move to marker. Also the same if you look in your map and look at your tasks, it's going to be listed there. Now when we move to the marker, nothing happens. And the reason is that we've just created the objective, we haven't told it to do anything when we get there. So to mark this as succeeded, we're going to have to use our knowledge from our previous video of triggers to tell it that when we get there, we want the objective to be completed. So we're going to go to our triggers tab, we're going to grab a trigger, and just like before, we're going to edit that, we're going to make it a 3x3 trigger, and we're going to do any player present. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to the systems tab. We are going to go to set task state under Intel, and we are going to go into the settings of that, and we are going to click succeeded. Now alone that won't do anything, so what we need to do is use the sync feature to connect it to our task. However, that module there doesn't know when it needs to be completed. It will just automatically be completed unless we sync it to our trigger. So now what happens is the task is created, and then when the trigger is activated, the task's state is changed to succeeded. So we're going to put our trigger there. It doesn't matter where this is, however it does matter where our create task module is, as we have the destination on the module position. So now when we jump into the game, we see our objective, and when we get within 3 meters, it completes the objective. Now once that objective has been completed, we want to assume that we want to go on to do something else. So what we're going to do is, to keep it nice and simple, is we're going to make it so that we just have to move to another point, and we're going to make that just further up this yellow line. So just like before, we're going to get the create task and put that down. We're going to configure it to be all playable units on the module position, and then we're going to set it to assigned, and we'll do a task type of move 1 just to see a different marker. We'll call it move again, and I'm not going to bother putting in a description for now. So if we were to start the scenario now, both tasks would already exist, and we don't want that. We only want this task to exist once this one has been completed. So what we have to do is sync the trigger to this task, and that means once the player gets into the trigger, it's going to complete that task like before, but the trigger is also going to create this new task. Now we need to make the new task completable, so we're going to do a set task state on that one, and we're going to say succeeded, and again we have to make another trigger. For now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this trigger, and I'm just going to connect it to this task state, because this trigger is already set up for any player present with the size, so we can save ourselves some time. So now when we jump into the game, we move, we successfully did the task, so it assigned us the new task, and now we move to the other task, and we've succeeded that task. You can get creative with these tasks and make them do different things, but I'm just keeping it simple for now so that you can see how tasks work. Now you can also set it so that a player will fail a task if a certain thing happens, such as a hostage is killed, or they don't do something by a certain time. But for now what we're going to do is we're just going to set this task as failed if the player goes into the wrong zone, which we're going to set as next to here. So what we're going to do is we are going to set task state again. This time it is going to be failed. So we need to sync that task state to this create task, and so that it doesn't fail immediately, we need to give it a trigger. Again, I'm just going to copy this one like that, and we're going to sync it to there. So now we know if we go in the middle of this line here to our right, we are going to fail this task. So let's see if that works. So we're going to avoid our objective, and we're going to purposely go to the wrong place. As you can see, the task was failed, and now we can't do any of our other tasks. Finally, what I'm going to do is show you how to end a mission when your final task has been completed. You can either set this to fail, so if the mission will fail if you fail your task, or you can set it to succeed. We're going to set it to succeed for now. So what we're going to do is go to our systems. We are going to go to our scenario flow, and we're going to go to end scenario. So what we're going to do here is we're going to configure this end scenario. It defaults as mission completed and completed, and we are going to sync that to our trigger. So this means that we're going to go to this trigger, which is going to complete this objective. It's then going to send us to this objective, and when that trigger goes off, it's going to complete that objective and also end the scenario with a mission completed status. So let's see how that works. There we are, we've got our second objective. And we have completed the scenario and the task. Thank you for watching. That was just a quick introduction to tasks and what you can do with them. In the background I've just included a scenario as to what you can do with tasks. I've just set up a little race thing. In the next one I'm going to do a big string together of everything we've learned, and I'm going to do a hostage rescue scenario. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.